Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Jeremy Brech, DJ Jer in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This is kind of a new experience for me. I haven't had a chance to do any of these. Usually Dave Tournier and I are working on a show together, hopefully inspiring people and giving some input and also answering questions. So tonight, I think is just kind of a chill opportunity and hopefully an opportunity for you to get some ideas or share some things back. I guess a topic while we're kind of in the middle of Christmas season, I guess ways to utilize your lighting and how you can incorporate it into the Christmas spirit. We have been actually working with a lot of our corporate clients that we typically work with. Since we're not doing in-person events with them right now, we are just kind of doing little projects here and there for them and a lot of virtual stuff. Sorry, I'm going to take my coat off. Is that cool? And, along with that, the way we utilize our lighting in the Christmas season with them is they've actually reached out to us and asked us to get involved in lighting up their building or, helping them out with some Christmas fundraising or, sponsorships, how we can enhance their buildings or their facilities with the services that we typically provide, which are, again, lighting, audio, visual. And now we get to incorporate that, like I said, through this December month. Even though I guess people kind of consider the times are a little bit slower or maybe off the axis, there's obviously ways to create revenues or build relationships. That was one thing that we actually did when COVID-19 originally started. Was a lot of our clients that we were working with them kind of in a, I don't want to say a donation aspect, but we had our services, we had our team, and we had the equipment. And when they were doing the work of giving money to the community and helping small businesses and things like that, we in return were actually going to their facilities and again lighting up their building, getting some Facebook recognition as well as local media recognition, and the opportunities that we had to give back to them because they were giving back to other small businesses. Again, financially, it didn't make sense for us to spend money that we weren't getting, we weren't having income. But it was a way for us to say thank you to those facilities or those industries or those businesses that do give back. And it was kind of a cross, I don't want to say it like a cross promotion, but when, we show our thanks to them, it's just a way to show our support and what they're doing in our community. So that was kind of a fun project that we did at the beginning of COVID, as well as kind of what we're doing right now. Again, I mean, you look at some of your clientele or some of your businesses that are always there to back you up and be there and hire you for your events or for their events. And now it's a good opportunity to say thank you. And even though you might not be making income, again, you're building that relationship. You're showing your support to them. And then again, once everything opens back up, they're going to be able to show the support back to you by utilizing your services again and getting a little bit more involved with your work. So, like I said, that's one of the big things that we've been doing. Virtual. Everybody's here and everybody's talking virtual. And all of a sudden, I think we all noticed this, but everybody became a professional at virtual events. And I think that's one thing that we really focus on as entrepreneurs is how do we stay in business? How do we come up with the next thing? Virtual events were obviously one of those things that, it's not going to go away, but it also is one of those things where we had to react and we had to react fast. And we'd actually been doing virtual events for 3.5 years in hybrid events. And we usually did, about 6 of them a year. And all of a sudden, like I said, COVID had hit. And now all the businesses that typically just did AV or they just did DJ services, next thing you know, they are professionals. They kind of took on that role and started doing virtual events as well. And I think that's great because, again, you have to sustain your company. You have to sustain your business. And having an answer for a problem or coming up with that solution, I think was extremely important for all businesses, especially in our line of work, where, we thrive on the gathering of hundreds of people and excuse me, you have to be flexible. You have to be innovative. And if you're not, then that's when your business is going to struggle. That's when you really start looking yourself in the mirror and saying, is this what I should be doing? So again, the virtual aspects is another way that if you're currently not doing it, I'm not saying jump all in and get involved, but maybe work with some other companies that are currently doing it and help them out. Because then you might not know in the next couple of weeks or next couple of months when someone's going to call you up and ask you for those services. So start getting yourself used to the systems and how to create good virtual events. Truthfully, you look at DJ News and what John's been doing. I mean, he's been doing these virtual talk shows for years through DJNTV. And it just shows you how far in advance or how ahead of the game he has been with what's happening in the world today. He's had the software, he's had the systems, he knows how to connect people, engage people, and again, I think that's extremely important. The other things I would kind of bring up, as you're going into your 2021. Start looking at the opportunities that maybe you've missed, or maybe the opportunities that you feel like you could grow a little bit more, and take advantage of those opportunities. So for instance, I actually just sent a survey out to my entire team, and I asked them, where do we progress from here? There's nothing, I wouldn't say there isn't anything new for us in the virtual world, but we've already been tackling that for years now. But what's that one thing that maybe we're not involved in, or one of the things that we should be focusing on? So that's where we're putting a lot of our energy. December is really a good time to refocus yourself, refocus your business. If you haven't seen on here, there is John's got the virtual expos that are coming up. I have a great presentation, which I'm going to encourage you to get involved in, on how to kind of refocus and also, excuse me, also, so many times, there you go. There's your first one, January 11th and the 12th. So many times we kind of get into this, 2020 was such a terrible year. And, as a business, yeah, it very well could have been. But what I want you to think about is, how did 2020 actually improve your life or improve your lifestyle? That's one of my presentations. It's basically, it's called Why 2020 Might Not Have Been as Bad as You Thought. That's a really long title, but that's really what it's focused on. And, the purpose of it is to help you look at the full picture. Because again, we got so focused on business is terrible, but your life isn't always just about business. There's so much more involved in your life. And you're going to get an opportunity to kind of hear my perspective, things that we've learned, things that we've helped other people understand and learn through this entire process. And I think it's going to be a great seminar. I'm not sure exactly when it is, so you'll have to keep an eye on DJNTV and see exactly when that's all going on. But let's see, other things in December. I think the biggest thing, like I said, is if you have some downtime, don't be afraid to network. Don't be afraid to get involved with your community. And it might not be in person. It might be virtually. Reach out to those businesses that have supported you for years and tell them thank you. Now you probably realize how important those businesses have been to you. And, I think we're fortunate in our market that our businesses that we work with really count on us. And, we count on them as well. And this was, again, 2020 was a perfect shining example on why we need to keep those great relationships. So again, with the lighting, if you have it, go to one of the local businesses and go light up their building for one day and tell them Merry Christmas. If it's a mall, I don't know where everybody's situation is right now, but if it's a mall, go set up your DJ equipment and just go play for an hour out of the Goodwill. And you never know, that might get you more business. That might get them saying, you know what, we have Black Friday next year. We have a huge Memorial weekend. We have a huge Labor Day weekend. We have whatever it is. We'd like for you to come in and we'd like you to DJ for us during, certain timeframes. Which again, it's all about really giving yourself to others and not being afraid to do something for free or to do something at a discounted rate. Those things really do come into play. And I think, giving back is what makes it successful. Other things, I also think about your mentors, or I would also think about other people who you can help in your industry. Maybe reach out to them right now, see how they're doing, because we're all kind of going through this, and it's a good opportunity to just connect and network and make sure that everyone's okay. For instance, John reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to get involved in the DJNTV DJ talks in January and the other couple dates here that you see popping up. And, John's always done a lot for me. He's always gotten me involved in the industry, and he's given me opportunities. And, just doing things like this was kind of my way of saying, thank you, John, and helping him, get some of these projects going. I love brainstorming with John. And then, I think that's what builds great relationships, but it also builds great businesses, because you're able and willing to help others out. And then when you need those people, they're going to be willing to help you as well, which I think is a very powerful thing. So I guess the last thing I'm going to end with is, New Year's Eve is coming up here, and, everybody always makes a New Year's resolution. This might be a different New Year's for you, but even though you might not be working on New Year's Eve, think about taking advantage of not having to work on New Year's Eve. What does that look like? Is it a wife? Is it kids? Is it a girlfriend? Is it a boyfriend? I don't know. Don't always feel like you have to be working, because you're going to get to a point where you're going to look back and say, man, all I did was work, and I never gave the opportunity to the people who were always there for me. I learned this probably 7 years ago from a mentor of mine. And again, you're going to hear about it in my presentation. So like I said, yeah, it could have been a better year for everybody, but this presentation is going to help you understand how fortunate we were through this entire process. So I encourage you to check out the schedule for the DJ talks that John's put together. I really think you're going to find some great content. There's a lot of great presenters. John, again, has great connections with a lot of amazing entertainers in the DJ industry. I think he's got a great lineup for you, and I hope that Dave Tournier and I can get back onto a schedule with everyone and kind of get things rolling again, because again, those relationships, that relationship with Dave has always meant a lot. And we always basically could count on each other getting together on those Wednesdays and having wedding chat with Dave and Jer. So don't be afraid to reach out to some people, tell them thank you, and make sure you guys have a great holiday. Make sure that you have a great New Year's, and I guarantee you're going to have a much better 2021. Thanks a lot, guys. This is Jeremy Brech, DJ Jer. Have a good night.